Teacher.
All right.
Due to lack of time and the rapid evolution of the web,
Eh,
it is difficult.
hold on nanti dulu. Hamiza
Huh?
tadi, hold on ya, hold on
Sorry,
first.
sorry, my brother came.
Tadi kawan you tiba-tiba hilang. Oh, si bila terus you masuk. Nah, sabar, sabar. Okay, so you can now begin your presentation. You introduce yourself, okay, and then you start with your presentation, and then you just pass the torch to your friends until the end. Yeah. So practically, you have about 30 minutes. All right. Okay. All the best and good luck.
Okay. My name is Zimia Muhammad. My friend is Ira Izati, and my other friend is Hamizah Almas. We are going to present arts and responsive design in order for the students to understand and appreciate web design. Can proceed?
So, I'll start. What is ARCS? ARCS website. Okay, so ARCS is John Keller's teaching model that encourages, or I mean, that concentrates on inspirations. This is where the model is about how the students need to be motivated and encouraged, and the encouragement needs to remain throughout the lessons. Okay, so um, John Keller's ARC model is actually very useful for online teaching because it's very difficult for us students to be encouraged and motivated during online class. Uh, what's this again? So the ARCS model is very useful for for this online class. Okay, sorry. Okay, so the ARCS model includes four elements. The first one is attention, second one is relevance, the third one is confidence, and the last one would be satisfaction. Okay, so for attention, it applies to the interest of the learners, which means that it applies to the students. So it's important to understand and maintain the I'm sorry, maintain the interest of the students, which means that um, the attention it's usually on the students. So the students need to be much more attentive towards the lesson. Okay, so the second one is relevant. This is a process that should be highlight because the relevance usually means the content of the study or the lesson during online class. Because if the content is not because the content if the content is not relevant, then usually the attention of the student will not be as good. Okay, so the third one is confidence. Okay, confidence, it allows the development of performance, the development of the performance and the expected studies to help student monitor the process of learning. So the level of confidence and expectation of success are linked to the importance of students to succeed. So the last one is satisfaction. So satisfaction, it usually relates between the motivation and relationship between motivations and satisfaction. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, so satisfaction, um, they need to be the student needs to be satisfied with the lesson. So and the relevance of the relevance of the lesson. So I'm so sorry if it's noisy. Okay, so the satisfaction, my goodness, it needs to be it's related to the relevance of the studies, and without if it's not good, the student won't be satisfied, and then the attention will not be on the study on the lesson. and the confidence is not there. Okay, so that's all. Thank you. Next one.
Okay, so I will continue with what Miza had said. Okay, so as Miza had explained earlier, she tells that there are four elements in arts. So I will explain about the two first elements, which are attention and relevance. Okay, so firstly, I'll start with attention. Attention A in arts stand for attention. I'm sorry. Uh, Attention is to arouse student curiosity and interest. There are few ways to draw attention. There are sorry sir. Shh, shh. Okay, there are four ways to draw attention, in which the firstly is to stimulate perception. For example, we can add feelings of surprise or doubt or puzzlement, as it is a good one of a good way to draw the learner's attention. Secondly, is engaged inquiry, or known as inquiry arousal. It is used to motivate the interest of students by resolve difficulties. For example, one of the example is the teacher can ask difficult questions or some bit of problems and dilemmas for the learners to solve. And also there are also variety techniques used to keep the attention of the learners, which are firstly encourage participation. For example, you can use games or role plays or any other practical activities. Or secondly, we can use humor. Humor is quite interesting to use, in which it can destroy boredom and keep the excitement in the topic more lightened. However, the main subject can be distracted due to too much laughter. But we need to bear in mind that humor is used to keep the attention of students only. Um, so for second element, I will talk about the relevance. R in arts stand for relevance, in which relevance is a teaching style that can use language or analogies or storytelling, in which it can relate to students' past experiences and needs. And there are two relevant strategies proposed by Keller, which are first is choice, in which to allow students to use various methods to pursue their work or to choose how they organize it. And second, can use experience to allow students to connect with latest info given and what they have known from their own past experience beforehand. Oh, and this is a very effective strategy, as it gives students a sense of consistency that will more motivate them as they realize that their knowledge and experience is expanding. For example, as an example of relevance, we can use teaching style that including asking the students to give the example from their own experience, and also we can use metaphors. Thank you.
Already? You're done, Ira?
Yes.
All right. I will continue with the next two elements, which is confidence and satisfaction. In order to give students a sense of confidence in themselves, helping them to believe that they can succeed, which is the job for the instructional designers. So, if the students feel like they are unable to achieve their objectives, then their motivation will be lessened. There are methods for instructional designers to increase their students' confidence. First is instructional designers should enable self-growth in students. They should allow students to take small steps and show them their progress in e-learning right away. This will motivate them to believe in themselves, which leads to self-growth. Second is objective and requirements. Instruction designers should assist students to the chance of success through performance requirements and assessment criteria. This will ensure students to know the demands for performance and to ensure students to achieve their objectives. It is essential to know where they are. If they have no feedback, students are confused because they can't be certain about the e-learning progress. So feedback is can be particularly constructive, but it is essential to encourage learners to conduct their next e-learning activity with confidence or to evaluate the previous e-learning activity. This will make e-learning more efficient. Building feedbacks can strengthen positive conduct and abilities. Okay, next is learners control. By giving students a By giving students a certain amount of control over the learning process, they will feel independent and handle their own achievement. In other words, it makes the students think that they are responsible for their own learning. So, by allowing students to select the method that they find more appropriate, that will motivate them to engage them in e-learning. So, because it is a strategy that engages them actively in the learning process. Next, I will present the next element, which is satisfaction. Satisfaction is the last element of Keller's ARCS model. The ARCS model is a strong correlation between intrinsic or extrinsic satisfaction and the level of motivation. Students must be proud and satisfied with what they achieve during learning. Here are some examples or strategies to this direction. Praise and rewards. The learning process should give some kind of reward to students, regardless of whether the teacher or the online facilitators feel a sense of achievement or recognition. They can also increase the level of e-learning satisfaction of the learner and give them a sense of accomplishment and validation during the course. Next is instant application. Students should think that their skills or materials will be useful in the future. This can be done by motivating students to use and participate in practical problem solving real world exercises with new knowledge and skills that they have learned. This will give students inner satisfaction because time, money, and the effort that they have put into the e learning are worthwhile at the end. Last is natural consequences. Instruction designers can give can give rewards to the students, but by over rewarding basic actions will cause inconvenience to the students. So we have to um, make it natural. I will present this slide to Miza.
Okay, so the next one would be next one would be responsive web design. Okay, so what is responsive web design? Okay, responsive web design, it means that generally it means that making your website more flexible, which means that whatever looks good on the website, whether you are using your laptop or your computer, will also look good on whatever phone you are using or mobile. Whether you are using your tab or your iPhone or your Android phone, it will look as good as when I'm so sorry. It will look as good as when you are using it on the web. So the example of responsive web design would be the Time magazine website. And another one which is not responsive web design is New York Times newspaper or website. Why? Because the responsive because Time magazine when we open it on our phone, it will look as good as when we are opening it on our laptop. As for the New York Times, when we open it on our phone, it will usually end up becoming cut off. Like some of the words we'll have to cut. It will look. Okay, I'm so sorry. Okay, so it will cut off, and some words will be harder to read, which means that we have to pinch and zoom. Um, which means that you have to pinch and zoom on the website instead of just able to read it like what responsive web design is. Okay, so Okay, so responsive web design means that it is a change, the it is a change the layout to experience to have the best experience on using the website, whether it is on your phone or on your laptop. Okay, so the next one would be the importance of web design. The importance of responsive web design. So why is it important? It's important because responsive web design uh, allows us to be much more what do you say? Much more. I mean, increases our visibility on search engines, which means that because responsive web design is a lot more nicer because we can use it on our mobile phone or we can use it on our tablet or on our laptop, whatever device we are using. So it's more likely to allow us to be able to find what to be able to be able to find something that we are searching for a lot more easier. Like if you are, oh, I'm so sorry. Please excuse me for a bit. Okay, so um, it in okay, so because of how we are using the website nowadays, um, it's better if we are using the responsive web design as it will allows us to open up any website on our phone, especially when we are curious about something or like when we want to have our cause to be known. So it's better if we are able to use our responsive. I'm so sorry. Okay, so what I want to say here is that because it is much more mobile friendly, um, we can it allows us to have much more visitors on our website, and we it will increase it will increase the number of visitors on the website and allows us to be to able to find support on allows us to find support that we need. Okay, I'm so sorry. Can I can I talk about this later? I'll pass the slide to Ira.
Okay, so I will continue with the advantage and disadvantages of responsive design. For the pros of using responsive design is that it is a user-friendly website as it will increase users experience in browsing a website without having to resizing it, as it will automatically match the size of the screen, which means that any device can be used for to read. For example, we can use our own phone because it is mobile friendly, and we can use our desktop for sure, and we can also use tablet. uh, then secondly, it's also flexible, as Miza had explained earlier. It is much more flexible for user who likes to use mobile for reading news. One of the example is the New York Times magazine. And for the disadvantages, um, I'm sorry. Okay, so for the advantages, it has limited media queries. It means that some mobile are not unstable to support the website because of how some of the phones have different browsers, and it can causes the website to not able to load properly. I think that's all from me. That's all. Miza, you want to add anything?
Okay, sorry. Also, as I was saying before, okay, as I was saying before, the importance of responsive web design. I would like to add that when we use responsive web design, it's a lot more how do you say it? A lot more easier to be able to just carry. For example, when we are using Shopee, so it's like an e-commerce, and e-commerce website usually needs to be able to be we need to be able to like just look it up on our phone or our laptop. So I think responsive web design allows us to have that. It will be a lot more easier on us as a user, and also to those people that are wanting to look into the website. Okay, so that's all. Thank you.
To conclude with this presentation, um, first we have talked about ARCs, which is a catalyst model to motivate students, and responsive design, which is a responsive website changes the layout to offer an experience base for the device to be used more ideal with mobile users. That's all from us. Thank you.
Okay, hold on, yeah. Let me just stop recording.